I made a video some months back. It got a lot of traffic. I appreciate that. It opened up a lot of conversations and relationships, but I wasn't done. So I want to talk about the men today. The men who believe that they are Prince Charming, that they are just the perfect mates. Yeah, some of you men are actually not great partners to have. So let's talk about it. You're constantly trying to make her understand her role and her position, when a lot of the times you don't know your role and your positions. We're always talking about women being nurturing and catering to you and being the housekeepers and yada, yada, yada. And then we talk about men providing stability and being leaders and security, but we stop at that physical security, like emotional security and safety is not a thing. And you're sitting here wondering whenever you all have a conversation, well, she's not feminine, because we always talk about masculinity and femininity, but you don't make her feel safe. So how is her femininity going to actually flourish? Which leads me to my next point. You not understanding her delicacy. You need to understand that when you decided to enter a relationship with a woman, she has an emotional process. So you can't always step in with logical reasoning, okay? Baby, we appreciate it, but you can't always do it, okay? Understand that you cannot fix her emotions. Most times she needs you to acknowledge her emotions and just ride them out with her. If she's angry, sad, hurt, just ride it out with her. Competing with your... What? First of all, when I said the word competing, it should have already just ding. Am I competing with my woman? Most times you're putting your woman down. Most times you are not lifting your partner because you are in competition with that person. When they do great in school, when they excel in their finances, when they excel in their careers, instead of you being that person to praise them and congratulate them and just be proud of them, you have to compete. You have to find a way to put them down, because that competition, the reason why you compete is because more than likely it's pulling out some insecurities of you. Let's talk about that. Insecurities. She's insecure. She's insecure. She's insecure. They're all insecure. Let's talk about how a man's insecurities can manifest into him being possessive. His insecurities can manifest into competition. His insecurities can manifest to jealousy. His insecurities can manifest to him putting her down. Let's talk about that, shall we? Matter of fact, we don't need to talk about that. If you expect a woman to come in secure within herself in a relationship, you need to do the exact same thing. Keep that energy. Habit abuse. We always talk about mental, verbal, emotional, psychological, sexual, physical. We talk about all that abuse, but we never really talk about habit abuse. Porn, gambling, overworking, drugs, gaming. All of those things that can communicate to your partner that they don't matter. They can communicate that they're not a priority. So many things. Those habits that you create, that lifestyle that you take on, can definitely kill your relationship. And I don't want to hear that, I got to get away. That's the reason why I gamble. That's the reason why I do yada, yada. I'm not attracted. Who cares? Because you made a decision to still be in that relationship with that person when you can easily walk away. And don't say, well, I have all these investments and stuff. You knew that when you decided to enter that lifestyle, that it will probably be destructive and detrimental to your relationship. But yet you still made a choice. Constantly being hot and cold, constantly being dismissive, wishy-washy. That is the easiest way to communicate the wrong message to your partner. And then we also want to talk about displacement. I do want to bring that up before I forget. Displacement. If you are a person who refuses to deal with your emotion and refuses to take on whatever you are going through head first in your life, and you decide, well, I'm going to put my anger and my sadness and my bitterness and everything else on her because she's the easiest target right now, so I can just push it all off on her instead of actually dealing with it, you're killing your relationship and comparing your relationship to others. Do not come to your woman talking about what your homie's wife is doing for him and yada, 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 because you all have different responsibilities and different obligations when it comes to home and outside of home. If you really want to make your woman feel like she is not enough, go ahead and compare her to somebody else. They don't share the same person. That woman in that household is not experiencing you. Now, this is not saying that women don't have problems, because we as women, we do. But men do as well. Let's talk about pregnancy. If you have a woman who is pregnant, a wife, a girlfriend, a fiance who's pregnant, or just gave birth to a child, please understand she put her life on the line to have that baby for you. And that baby was not just created by her. You both had to lay down and create that baby. It is so much. We lose blood. We lose fluids. We are delirious after we give birth to a child. And then to come home and you already have her superwoman cape sitting up like, here, you got to put this on because I'm hungry. The house needs to be clean. We still got stuff to do. And she just gave a life. She just delivered a whole baby. Okay? And you're expecting her to just bounce back. I want you to bounce back and get back to your responsibilities. No. If you really understand your woman, you will understand the process when it comes to that. Be romantic. When did the romanticism in your relationship die? Why are you no longer romantic? Why are you not planning dates? I get so tired of seeing men sending things to women, constantly sending, we should do this. Well, plan it. Sugar love, plan it. You're wondering why you two are disconnected. Why are we not doing the same things? You have to take that initiative, especially if you have a woman who did all of the planning in the beginning. She's tired. That's exhausting. Be romantic. It takes you, just like you can subscribe to whatever type of networks you have and any subscriptions that are $7.99. It literally costs $7.99 to get a half a dozen of roses at a Tom Thumb or a Kroger's or something like that. $11.99, whatever the numbers are. But it is not hard just to simply buy a $2-3 card to be romantic with your woman. I'm going to talk about contempt and defense, and I'm going to merge those two. Contempt is one way to easily kill your relationship because it's the opposite of respect. I just taught that to my class last night. When you are being in contempt, especially when it comes to your partner, and you're sarcastic and you're constantly interrupting them and you're not listening, just completely disrespectful, or maybe if your partner brings up an issue that they have with you, or maybe it's a light criticism, just trying to change something or get a changed behavior or whatever the case may be, and your defense just goes up completely. Disregard what it is that they say. I'm just going to defend myself. I don't care about the points that you are making. This is who I am and you're going to have to deal with it. That is so unhealthy and very disrespectful. And if you want to easily push your woman away, contempt and defense. This is one of the unhealthiest ways of thinking. Because I was hurt by this woman 5-10 years ago, I'm going to make every woman suffer. So what I'm going to do to protect myself is I'm going to cheat first. Because if I cheat first and then later on she may cheat, then well, it equalizes the transgression. So it's not that bad. Do you know how much pain you are creating? You are just eroding a person's trust, and it affects so many people later on down the line. If you have that way of thinking, you shouldn't even be in a relationship. You need to be addressing that. You cannot keep running from what it is that you need to heal. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. What's the point of apologizing if you're not going to learn from your mistakes? Learn from your mistakes and show what you have learned through your actions.